Hey OPC, Tammy here with this month's Tower Cadillac class. Look Ma, no hands.
Welcome to OnlinePilatesClasses.com, the most supportive Pilates-loving community across the globe. Enjoy new weekly classes from our amazing teachers. Download the OnlinePilatesClasses.com app today.
So this month we are celebrating Christine Cam Lynch's birthday. Happy birthday to you. You are my favorite fun-sized person. Christine is such an awesome instructor, and she gave us this great theme this month because as we're all getting older, it's really important that we can stand up, sit down, get in and out of cars without using our hands. In fact, we all do the strangest thing when we get ready to stand up. We push on our thighs. And if you think about the mechanics of standing, why would you push all of the force from your upper body down when all of the work from your lower body is trying to lift you up? So today we will be working on sitting and standing, eventually using no hands. Of course, we're going to need to use our hands during our workout today. So I have got the box from the Reformer. If you don't have a box, you can use a bolster. You can use a group of firm like cushions, say from your sofa. And when we're doing the standing practices, if your box is kind of short, like this box, you can just bring in a regular chair, like bring a dining room chair nearby. You don't have to do this off of the box. Now, if you happen to have a short box, and you have something you can use as a riser. I'm going to be using a pad and a riser anytime I'm sitting on this box because I want to mimic a bit more of that height, how close we get to a chair. And I like to have a towel because sometimes that head just needs a little bit of support. So let's put these things to the side and let's get started. So we're going to begin standing on, whoops, I fall. We're going to begin standing on our machine. And let's go ahead and we're going to use our push-through bar. So when you start to come into the bar, I think bend at the elbow, try and be about 90 degrees, maybe a little bit back from there, and let's begin with these feet in Pilates first. Don't forget Lego hold whenever you're on the Cadillac or the tower so that we're nice and safe. So we're going to start with a simple releve up on the toes as you extend the arms down. And this is just warming us up, just feeling how can I lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs so that at the end of our stand-up, we're as tall as we can be. Let's do 3 more here. And what are you using to get that releve? We don't want it to be all just toes, right? So let's stay up here. And we're going to go into our hundreds. So let's go ahead and start this small pump. Your arms won't get quite straight. And continue on through whichever 100 breath you like. So maybe you're a 5 and 5. Maybe you're a 3 and a 7, a 4 and a 6. But go ahead and try that because when we're standing, when we're sitting, you do want to use your breath to help you get up and down. Try and keep that wide posture in the chest. Careful of arching in that lower back. In fact, on our last 2 here, gaze the eyes down a bit as if you were doing your 100 on the floor. Can you keep tall spine with just a little bit of curve at the top there? Now, the arms are long, we're in that releve. Let's turn this into a little plie frog. The elbows will bend and you'll come up. So I'm not going too low. I'm just letting the knees bend and feeling where my corners are. I don't want my knees trying to reach any wider than the tower. Let's do 2 more here. And bringing that down. So we're going to keep these feet in Pilates first, and let's go ahead and give us a nice roll down. Just stretching out everything we just used and rolling back up. And if you feel like you're a little close, what would make you feel like you're close? If you're rocking into your feet. You can back up a little bit. I'm going to back up a bit more so that I can feel more of a balance between 10 toes, 2 heels, and I'm standing more securely in both feet. We're going to do one more here. Rounding, finding that nice curve, and feeling that stretch go all the way from the heels to the crown of the head. So let's take ourselves into some standing footwork here. I'm going to keep us in this Pilates first, and we're going to switch to an underhand grip. Again, make sure you got that thumb separated, and I want you to try and find your squatting plie. So can you come down, and if your heels lift a little bit, try and stop right before your heels actually have to lift. And just feel, this is like your imaginary chair, right? We're going up and down, just in this zone here. Last two. And let's stay at our imaginary chair. Now, we're just going to hold this for a second and just kind of run that checklist. What are you feeling in your body? And can we release a little bit now from the pelvis? Sounds weird. Try not to squeeze anything. Did you visit our community speaker when Claire Sparrow was with us and speaking, and she talked about helping to release these muscles? Now, try that with the squeeze. Tuck a little bit from the glutes, digging into the toes. It feels very different when you tuck the pelvis here and you have so much muscle engaged. And now, let's go ahead and bring ourselves back up. Breathe for a second. We're going to try that same series with our heels lifted. A little mini releve. Don't go too high. Let's come down low and let's try these plies here. Oh, I can feel my legs shaking a little bit, so they must be working. Two more. We're going to stay here. Good. Now, try relaxing the muscles all around the pelvic floor as we go into this tuck, and then try engaging a bit more from the glutes and the hamstring and the lower abdominals as we're tucking here. And then bring that down, bring the legs up. Whew, shake those legs out a little bit. Guess what? We get to try that in parallel. I know. So here we go. Toes in parallel. Let's keep that underhand grip. And now, let's try that plie here. Going for 6. Now, when you sit in a chair, sometimes you're turned out, sometimes you're parallel. So good for us to practice. You never quite know what position you're going to be in. And in our lives, we don't usually stop and realign so that we're perfectly lined up before we do anything. Staying here. Give me that pelvis tuck with not too much muscle involvement. And now, try it with more squeeze, more of a conscious control of that tuck. Woo! Come on up, breathe. Doing it with those heels up. Here we go. Heels a little lifted and down and coming back up. For the most part, when we're getting up and out of chairs, in and out of the car, chairs, your heels will probably be down. In and out of the car, your heels will probably be lifted. Now, staying here. Here we go. Releasing, kind of feel like you're lengthening the lower back. One more. Now, add more muscle control, squeeze, and feel that belly button trying to pull towards your lower back. Oh my gosh, can you see my leg shaking? Last one, up and bringing that down. Okay. I believe we have earned ourselves a roll down, so let's flip back over to our overhand position. I'm going to back up a little bit. I want a little more distance here. And now I'm in that parallel and rolling down, feeling the body drop, controlling as I bring that back up. We're going to do that 2 more times. Really feel that the body is tall, the head goes over, then the arms are following with the curve of the body. You try not to flatten out. Let's keep as much Halloween cat shape as we can. One more. And rolling back up. Great. And we've earned a stretch with some work. Here we go. So we're going to move one foot just a little more towards the center of the bed if the legs were a little bit more apart in your parallel position before. And I'm going to do this and keeping the box on the back end of the Cadillac. Now, if your legs are longer and you're hitting the box and this isn't good for you, you do not have to use the box. You can do this without. So I've gone into this sort of standing lunge. And what I'm looking for is that when I'm at this diagonal, I can push my heel towards the bed and feel that really nice calf stretch. I'm going to slightly bend my back knee, trying to keep the heel down so that I'm extending from the Achilles.